Howdy all, this is your host Road
Mary.
and we are going to be covering Galaxycon OKC. This was May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. There were tons of events over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as you can see.
All super fun.
It was a blast. A lot of cool people, a lot of cool costumes. They had a whole area for Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! It was all sorts of cool stuff. We got a fudge eating contest.
Cosplay contest.
Yeah. They had masquerades. I did the stamp passport, got a cool Galaxycon pin. Got to meet Mick Foley, that was quite interesting.
That was awesome.
Went to the Helen Hunt Q&A. Really cool. Didn't realize how much she still does. They had some dogs up for adoption, and they had a raid every single night. It was a blast. And then of course, they had the After the Dark stuff.
A lot of cosplaying.
But we want to thank GalaxyCon for sponsoring us and allowing us to go. And
thank you so much. It was such a blast. All 3 days were great.
We greatly appreciate it. They had all sorts of stuff. As you can see, heck, they even had drag game there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We are just gonna go through a bunch of the pictures, bunch of the video of cons day 1 and 2, and the Backyard Bash was really fun. I have a clip of it here at the very end. Some of your favorite artists and voice actors were throughout here as well. And here we go. So these were people at the gaming section, the tabletop gaming. We got Perler Tricks here. He was a really cool costume the whole time. So here's GalaxyCon Day 1.
Here's we're in Star Wars area.
This is the Rebel 405 Oklahoma chapter of the Star Wars group. We also have 2 of the other groups here, but Jedi OKC and whatnot. But Rebel 405, they help arrange all the Star Wars setup for most cons and events. You will see them throughout multiple days in the videos. This was really early in the morning, so they weren't fully out and about yet. They can get R2-D2 out.
I really like the dragons that are out.
And as we're going through the con here, day 1, you can start seeing a bunch of the art and whatnot. And got Grandpa Gaming over here. That was really nice. He was showing some games that he likes to play and stream on his YouTube and Twitch. Bunch of cool blankets, build your own lightsaber, 3D printing booths.
You can make your own figures with that 3D booth. And then here's a bunch of weapons, and you can cosplay how you will, however you want. There's Batlift for Star Trek.
I really wanted that Batlift. Same thing with the Dark Link sword. I have a bunch of Master Swords, I don't have a Dark Link one. All sorts of really cool weapons. Even a gun sword.
If you don't have a weapon, you can always come on down to GalaxyCon and get one for your cosplay costume.
Tons and tons of Funko Pops everywhere you look. You got the Power Ranger blade, you got a Keyblade up there, you got Lion-O's blade.
And then there's also a mermaid spot for yourself.
Walls and walls of Funkos.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Funkos, a bunch of art. Everybody's so uniquely artistic and talented. So much different stuff. figures, posters, paintings.
This was a cool booth. We ended up picking up a pre-ran 3D model for a figure here.
Yeah, right there. I'm picking up
That particular one right there.
pre-run.
But they had so many cool ones. Like I really enjoyed the Goku.
There's some cosplaying.
As we continue to walk around, you're going to see a bunch of shirts and stuff. A bunch more figures. We picked up Fern and a Hatsune Miku at this booth.
Yeah, and I had swimming pool later.
Yeah. They had both boxed and unboxed figures. The unboxed ones were quite a bit cheaper, but all of them were good quality.
A bunch of risque stuff too in different booths.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Miku we grabbed. Oh, it's not?
We grabbed one of Wonderland, the Red Riding Hood figure. Here's some 3D printed art.
Love the Lugia up top.
And here's some more art from an artist that did an awesome job on some Pokemon, and Link, and Sailor Moon, and all you could imagine, like Adventure Time, and Has Been Hotel, so on.
I love the way they do the eyes.
Here's Goku.
They even have a Hollow Knight one down there.
Yeah.
But the eyes for the art just make me laugh. I very much enjoy it. This booth had all the 3D stuff that you see there was a very quick 3D printed unit. I wanted that.
I like the Lugia and the Snorlax. The Mewtwo was awesome looking.
Arceus right here.
Yeah. There's tons of bags, a bunch of backpacks. There's a ton of dice booths. We saw a dice backpack for your D&D needs.
Nice Final Fantasy cat car.
Now we're back at this booth. We like their pictures.
Yeah, I would totally hang that throughout the house.
She painted a really cute Lugia that we'll see later.
Bunch more figures. Shin-chan. Love us some Shin-chan.
Full of risque stuff.
More Funko Pops.
But going in, so whenever we see that, we stop. Tons of stuffed animals too, of all types of stuff, Pokemon, you name it. This Galaxycon had it.
Two separate Funko Pop booths right next to each other, along with some really cool art.
We have some Ghibli art there. And some badges. Pokemon, more Hell's Boss, and Has Been Hotel. And here's some open figures that were out to display. I wanted to go through this stuff more individually, but
There was so many figures, and that booth was always hopping.
Has Been Hotel and Hell of Boss stuff. There was so much of that. Hell of Boss and Has Been Hotel is definitely at the Galaxycon. Come on down.
And there is a separate video of just their Q&A, which I highly recommend. It was a lot of fun. Way more really cool art, Japanese style Pokemon. I love the Well-Lord. I'm gonna crap on the down.
This person's booth had a lot of standees and keychains.
Bunch of little pins and stuff too. Here's the OKC booth right next to the Fort Smith Comic Con. They were just trying to, sell off and promote their cons. It was really cool.
It's very fun. And there's tumblers.
Lots and lots of really cool tumblers.
That's a cool picture of a black hole.
Oh yeah, right above for you.
Yeah, even the office had a few pictures that were painted. That was pretty cool. Anything you could think of, they had it. Godzilla.
Yep.
And they also had a horror section.
Yeah, you just saw a Zelda walk by.
Bunch of horror pictures and
Anything. The artists had so many different sets of art and things out in some of these booths. Like this one, it's so hard to sit there and look at everything. There's so much, but they are all great. Some cool arcane art, Star Trek.
and people brought their support animals. It was a very open and just very welcoming environment to everyone.
Tons and tons of cool shirts. Another weapon booth.
Someone had a bunch of wands for Harry Potter. There's blankets. I love this booth. There's so much just glowing items there. We'll come back to it. A lot of people dressed up as pirates. This Galaxycon.
It was very fun. Huge pirate fan. Snorlax dice.
A lot of dice there. All types of stuff you could put.
Tons of really cool plushies everywhere.
Back at this booth, that everything is just glowing and shimmery and shiny.
Yeah, I love blacklight art. More gamer supplemental booth. I've got some cool pictures of some of their stuff and their vehicles. Ended up parking right next to them on day 2. They are fully tagged out. Love the Gengar.
View at top.
Just everywhere you look, there is so many people dressed up real cool and so much stuff being sold.
There's even someone that carves crystals into Pokemon and possibly other anime characters. Standees.
And we're going down a lot of people's custom creations and stuff right here, which is really neat.
Oh, and stickers. Plenty and plenty of stickers of anything. There's Ren Stimpy.
Like the Raven art back there.
Oh, and they were doing a tattoo booth. You could also pay for celebrities to write their name on and you get tattooed right there.
Yeah, they had special hours and discounts if you wanted Shatner or Danny Trejo and
Funny
a few
about it.
others.
Have Cyanide and Happiness booth.
They were really nice. I talked to them all 3 days. They were just over here making panels and signing them for people. I actually regret not getting a Lunk panel just because I love the Lunk.
Well, here he is, Lunk.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get a Lunk. There's Lunk. Oh, you could have gotten a Lunk, huh?
Yeah. And their booth is really cool. They're like, you can either pay $30 for a panel or you buy $30 worth of merch and get a free panel. And I was like, who is not going to just get $30 of merch and get a free panel? Tons and tons of various fandoms and art. The booth right there, those are all backlit pictures if you wanted them.
Shishomaru, Inuyasha, Howl's Moving Castle,
Arcane.
plenty. There's a Miku, there's the Miku blanket that I got. I wanted that Miku mouse pad, but I had to pass on it. I got my blanket, so I'm happy.
So much art, so many
much.
posts, so many posters and various things just everywhere you look. And all these posters right here were autographed posters, the ones in the frames.
Different comic strips. There's even some booth that had a little bit of manga.
We are down Artist Alley. Everyone's showing off their art, some of their books, comics. Yeah, this was the horror section.
Check it out.
Super nice people. They asked me to come to the horror con, which was funny because I'm running around as Buddy Christ. They're like, you really should come.
Oh, and Kirby was there everywhere.
Delicious in a dungeon.
So much artwork. I can't stress it enough. There's Spyro. Nice Spyro blanket and poster.
They had tons of different Last Supper meals with various characters.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Bunch of Fallout, which I'm excited for Fallout Season 2 to come after watching the first one.
The police even had a booth set up for people to become police officers themselves.
Which was funny because the Reno 911 cast took a bunch of pictures with them.
There are more artists that are signing their artwork. You get to meet and greet them. Goosebumps. Some Disney stuff too.
Very chill. Yeah. Another weapon booth.
Yeah, showing off this rainbow weapon.
Tons and tons. I love the Thundercat sword. Another Funko booth. Tons of Funko booths day one, even more day two.
Keychains galore. Come over this Kirby over here.
This booth had a bunch of the little placards within a boxy. Absolutely loved them.
They're beautiful.
Loved the Kirby. I kind of would want the Kirby just to have a stand-in on like the table. Throw your keys in Kirby's mouth.
Bunch of stickers. Bunch of fluffy stickers. More Star Wars stuff. And Hello Kitty.
These are all the reflective stickers.
And standees.
There were quite a few Deadpools, which was really neat. I ended up walking by them several times.
On a figure-in weapon over there.
Yeah, there it is.
So much to take in. It was a wonderful convention.
These were really cool cryptid D&D cards right here, thanks to...
And this is a taxidermy booth.
Yeah.
Things you can think of, they had it. You want to go ahead? Go for it. Galaxycon. Here's more risque booth.
Yeah, Dominic Glover. Bunch of really neat art. A lot of it was blacklight style art, so it looks really cool if you have the purple light on it. Oh, Tater Tot. The gate was hopping all 3 days. Luckily, by Sunday, it was starting to slow down quite a bit.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the little Miku big old mouth bag. That was neat.
There's more Mikus. There's Snorlax. Squishmallows.
That booth right there, really nice. Got to talk to the person running it on Saturday.
Dice, 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 dice.
Yeah, Mountaintop Gaming definitely was out with Third Dice along with a bunch of other vendors. Tons and tons of plushies.
Yeah.
This booth was cool. It's the first time I've ever seen figures coming out of a picture frame.
Yeah, 3D art.
Really neat how they did that. Kind of wanted one.
Plenty of t-shirts. Bags. And everybody's just hanging out having a good time.
Bunch more rugs. These are all cool pocket watches and stuff. I love pocket watches.
A lot of vintage stuff like goblets.
Chalices and tankards.
That pumpkin called steampunks. There's a bunch of steampunk stuff too. Oh, and I really like that Midna blanket in the back.
Yeah, I looked at it all 3 days. I kind of wish I bought it.
It's nice.
Love some Midna.
Nice.
There's also a lightning blanket, like catty corner to the Midna one, which I was really looking at. I love some Final Fantasy 13.
More dice and dice boxes. Collect your dice.
Yeah, the rolling trays. Never had too many.
It's very nicely made.
They did a really good job with how they had everything set up for crowd flow too.
Yeah, everything just moved along smoothly.
See the Twister truck right there. Friday was the only day it was like out in the open. These are a bunch of cosplayers and people who do it for, like, make them and do it for a living.
We sat in on her Lucky Grim. She was really awesome. She taught us about some sewing stuff and how to cosplay on a budget, pretty much.
She does a lot of costumes for Marvel Studios.
And Star Trek. She has some patents on some fabrics that she's made with a mixture of fabric and plastic.
Really cool. She passed them around for us all to see, like, the different details, had us try to guess what they were from.
She was an awesome person to listen to. She was very funny too.
Bunch of lit up standees here.
Video game stuff.
Captain Hook.
Oh, I like this booth. I could have stood there for hours.
Their art was really neat. They put so much on one thing, and Like you literally could just sit there and look for so long.
Truly. I like this top poster here, though. I had everything connected.
Then large D&D dice, and this booth, bunch of mystery boxes. I watched a few people buy and open them.
They were all happy.
Yeah.
Everybody was happy with what they got. I didn't see any sad faces.
A lot of people were getting figures in almost every single box, stickers, various pieces of art. And they range from $20 to $120.
And here's some gold fake money with your favorite characters on it.
Which I like to collect stuff like that, so I was really looking at it. Saw the Blastoise 100 and the Evangelion one with Oscar.
And they also had a Rick and Morty there.
Just so much. More weapons. Got the Tears of the Kingdom Corrupted Master Sword.
Got these fans.
There's just so many booths, so much cool stuff.
I love me some Helsing guns. Everything free cosplay needs. It's all right there at Galaxycon.
So much
Awesome.
art. Love the Full Metal Alchemist girl turning into a dog art. I'm glad I was able to catch that on camera.
The devil just walking by. As Road is dressed up as Jesus. Buddy Christ. There's McFoley. And there's Buddy Christ walking up to him. That's Road.
Yeah. Mick Foley was doing a TikTok, so I
Oh yeah, we stood in line for a little bit.
let
It's
him
okay.
finish it out, but it was really cool.
He dressed up as Mankind for a second for TikTok or video he's making.
Super nice. You will be seeing his Q&A later on.
This area is where all the celebrities are. It's a meet and greet. So you get to get a picture with them or a signed autograph as well. And or. Everybody was really nice.
And we just did a quick walk through all the celebrities and people giving autographs here.
Buddy Yell.
This was day one, so some of the lines were smaller. They get way bigger day two. Shatner's line and Trejo's line, they were several hours long on day two.
Gotta get the autograph.
We got Carlos, there's our Kari, he plays Rocco and in Reno 911. He's one of the deputies. Super nice. Then one of the nicest people I met the entire con, who I just chilled with for a minute, was Thomas Lennon here.
You're here.
Playing Lieutenant Dangle. Talked with him. There's an interview in here with him. Absolutely nice dude. Was a blast meeting him.
He's dressed up in his deputy Dangle.
New boot scooting. Run around in his boots. Tons and tons of people. Yeah, Ralph.
There's Mario Lopez. Cool seeing him. Who are you gonna play out? Okay. And then there's so many more celebrities.
And so this was on Friday, so it was a lot slower. This was between 2 and 6 p.m., so the lines weren't nearly that bad. Saturday got really busy, but it was awesome.
Thank you, Galaxycon, for this awesome opportunity. It was really fun to go to and to be a part of.
And I will continue with day 2 here momentarily. Okay, y'all, here we are on day 2 of Galaxycon. Got here extra early. We filmed a little bit of crowd outside. But since we had some press passes, we were able to come into the con an hour early. So we're able to film a little bit before everyone comes rushing through. This here is the video gaming area that gets packed later on. Here we go with the Deep Space Boutique. This is the 18 adult plus area. It's for the after dark area mainly of the con. Got some rock band over here, some Dance Dance Revolution. Here we come to the Ghostbusters section. Absolutely loves Ghostbusters. It was nice to be able to check out everything before the crowd got there because this booth was hopping the entire con. Love the Stay Puft Marshmallow, love the Echo one. And if you notice, you'll see some of the marshmallows doing the Titanic thing. Absolutely love being able to check it out. Here's the Supernatural booth. I absolutely love the show Supernatural. You're going to see a bunch of really cool items. You get to see Kane's knife over there and Baby in the background. And then here we go to Jurassic Park. A little bit more of the Ghostbusters, but the Jurassic Park booth was awesome. And we were able to go into the convention floor here and check out some of the stuff that they were selling before everyone came flowing through. Here is the USS Sun Tzu. It's our local Oklahoma version or chapter of Star Trek. Some of the really cool tricorders, phasers, and everything they are selling. And then, like, here's Deep Space Nine, the Enterprise. You got Voyager in the bottom left corner. Just a bunch of really cool ships and models they've made. They are the local Star Trek chapter here in Oklahoma. Just showing us some stuff. Mystery Machine, all the cool Scooby-Doo merch that they were selling. Absolutely loved it. Would wear any of it proudly. Here's the tabletop gaming booth where they were selling a bunch of Pathfinder, D&D. They had werewolf books. Just a bunch of really cool stuff for tabletop. And here's the dragons. You see a little bit more in day 1, but here it is in day 2 without everyone around it. Again, this is an hour before standard opening, so they're getting everything set up, especially after how late it was on Friday night, is everyone's getting back up again. Here's the 501st Legion area. They're the local Star Wars chapter group who organizes all the Star Wars stuff within various cons here in Oklahoma. Bunch of really, really cool stuff people have made. There's a few other Star Wars groups, but the 501st, I believe, arrange it for everyone. Like later on in the con, they have R2-D2 driving around, beeping at people. More of the tabletop RPG where you could sign up to play various things. And here we go to the con floor. It was really cool to be able to walk through here before everyone got set up and was flooding through, but because of that, some booths weren't open yet. And some of the booth sellers or artists were going around trying to get autographs and stuff before regular people got in and got super busy. But it gave us a little bit more time to go through their art and see stuff without being crowded with how many people were there. It was absolutely a blast. Love so much of this person's art. Love the office art they had. Here's Grandpa Gaming. This dude, and there's another guy here who's really nice. They just show some games and stuff they like to play. And here we come to a really cool blanket booth. I love a lot of their blankets. They had some really cool Demon Slayer blankets. Here's a build your own lightsaber. And here we go into the 3D printer booth. And now back to the cosplay section. This is where they were doing all the meetups. You could pause to see, this was on Saturday. See the various meetups they had planned on Saturday. Took a bunch of really cool pictures here. This was before everyone was able to get in. And then, as you can see, people are starting to come in. I spent an hour just walking around that one little section. And then all the people start flooding in. Nice autograph booth. one of many Funko Pop booths you are going to see over and over again. So many absolutely cool costumes. So many cool booths. People were selling so many awesome plushies and shirts, art, and just various things. And if you want to see anything a little bit more in depth, just pause the video. This guy was making friends art with any fandom he could think of and taking recommendations. And this figure booth we bought a lot from on day one. Free Ren, Fern, I had to do. Coming through here, bunch of various items, more plushies. That's that same booth. They had a bunch of wall scrolls too, and they're depleted smells. Absolutely. Now, going through a little bit fast, trying to view all the booths, and there's the booty mascots before it got really crowded. Absolutely love the 3D printed stuff people have made. There was a Mew I saw on day one, saw it again right here. Absolutely love Mew. Favorite Pokemon probably Mew and Pichu for me. Then the art, the Pokemon, Zelda art, Color of the Boss, all the various things from that series or show series. Tons of really cool plushies and stuff. Dude, this art, like, it caught my eye because I would love to have this around the house. Oh, the way they draw the eyes and everything, I absolutely adore it. And I found a Ray plushie. I absolutely love Ray. You don't get them. Coming through, so many Funko Pops. Just cool hair braids people were putting on more Funko Pops. I like Funko Pops. There was just a whole lot of this in Funko Pops. Love these little acrylic 3D stands. As you can see, very fan servicey, but some of them were just really neat. Really cool blankets. Love the Yu-Gi-Oh one up there with the Obelisk the Tormentor / the Sky Dragon. So many wall scrolls. So many adult wall scrolls. You can literally plaster entire walls with that. Then as we're going in, you're going to see more art. Absolutely adore it. I love the way they Japanese art style the Pokemon in that booth. You can see a little bit better right here. Like, absolutely adore it. Here we go into some of the authors. This Stephen Scott, really nice dude, does horror books, gives the first chapter away for free if you look him up. A little bit on Fort Smith Comic Con. Lady was super nice. And then here's the OKC booth. James Young here. And this lady was super nice. I loved her art. Talked to her for a minute. These guys did a bunch of Dragon Ball Z art. Went through their whole stack. Absolutely loved it. As we're continuing through, a bunch more artists. Very talented people selling stuff. This lady was cool. I talked to her, I think, all 3 days. Just checking out all her various prints. Like, every time you go through it, there is just more and more you see. Same thing with this booth here. Love the darker style art. A bunch of really cool pins and prints made out of all the art. And here's more like medieval fantasy or sci-fi art put into frames, which is cool. Absolutely love when you do that. Going into a little bit more of the horror booth here. Got the Ninja Turtles, darker style art of the Ninja Turtles. Going into more artists or more books and stuff. I gotta talk to a lot of the authors, a lot of artists. They were all super nice. And as you can see, there's just so much. Everywhere you look, there is just art and plushies. Absolutely adore everything of it. We continue on, you will see even more artists. This dude, really cool, did a lot of Marvel style art. Kind of wanted some of it because they're, like, I love Thor. If you love to have some cool art. But he did a little bit of everything. But it was all like Marvel-ish. Love the art here. Love the Star Trek. Love the Arcane up top. Here we go to little Pokemon figures. Really cool. Almost bought a few of them, but held off. Just so much to get every day of the tournament. This booth turned anything they could think of into a Jesus candle. They had a little bit of everything. They even had a Markiplier Jesus one over there. And then some really cool shirts. Not in my size. Wish they were. But just really cool. Look through a few of them. The art styles were really neat. The Lego booth. We bought 6 figures from that Lego booth back there. Here's a mixture booth. It has a lot of D&D stuff. They had some really cool dice to keep walking through. More of the blankets up top. Love the Shinron blanket. Would have liked it. This booth here with all the various blacklight art, really cool. They had some really cool Legend of Zelda stuff on there, but when the light hits it, like the mask, the eyes, and all that glow, super neat. This booth was the gamer supplements booth. They were selling Waifu cups and various caffeinated gamer supplements with no sugar. Super nice people. Tried a avocado toast art. As we continue on, this was the leather booth. They sold a lot of different bags. Get more of the blacklight art booth right here. They had one that I really wanted, which was a Majora's Mask. And what got me though is it spun around to an adult Link, which did not really make a lot of sense. More blankets. I loved this giant vendor. I would love to have said giant vendor. Futurama is my thing. Absolutely love it. More dice. This booth had a bunch of really cool dice. Another Funko Pop booth. I did like that they had a bunch of stuffies in this booth, but so many Funko Pops everywhere. Continue on. More really cool art. This booth had a bunch of pins. I sat there and looked through all of them. Wanted a bunch of them, but I don't really have a spot for pins. More really good art. Absolutely enjoyed it. Some really cool Demon Slayer stuff in there. I mean, feel free to pause to look at it. This one, all light up stands. They had some really cool Studio Ghibli ones. Various Totoros, some No Faces. Absolutely love Totoro. And there was on the other side a bunch of Dragon Ball Z ones. This is the Milky Tomato booth. Really cool. Love the nice art with it. Coming in over here, a bunch of chibi art, chibi books. More authors. They're all super nice. Yeah, everybody's waving. Everyone I talked to was really awesome. Absolutely loved all the vendors. I love the Cyanide and Happiness booth here. Again, absolutely great people. Loved all their merch. They're very happy-go-lucky. And I love their art style. The simple but expressive. Continuing on, just more art, more little plaques. Love the knitted plushies. This lady was knitting through the whole thing. And so this booth right here, they had a folding or a binder that has a bunch of different art. I looked through it. It was really cool. Like you saw Peach and Toads hugging, absolutely neat. But they had a bunch of really cool stuff. More knitted art. And then, like, I love the art here. They got the Frieren, the Evangelion. The booth right next to it has the red and blue style, which is really neat. Got a Vegeta up there, Majin Vegeta, which I kind of wanted because I am a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I like Vegeta probably the most out of those. he's angry. It's enjoyable. I appreciate art in most forms, so coming through, seeing all the different art styles, and I like gritty, dark art, and it was really cool seeing a bunch of that, and it's funny them putting it right next to some happy-go-lucky art. So many pins, so many keychains, just everywhere you looked, there was something you'd want to take home with you. Absolutely adored every bit of it. More really cool pins. This booth had these plates, even though they're not plates, they're technically ashtrays, because the coating on them would make you sick if you ate off of it. Love the Gengar right there, and the Goku, the various Kirby's. Just loved every single one of those. Neighbor is a big Kirby person, so every time I see one, I think of her. The horror section right here, I talked to them. Absolutely amazing people. Talked to them probably for 20 minutes. They kept trying to convince me to come to the HorrorCon, which I may. I don't know yet. It was funny because I was dressed as Jesus, and they're like, "You gotta come." Some Demon Slayer, just so many cool figures. This person made ammo boxes and laser engraved tons of anime designs on them. This one, very Norse booth, which I love Thor, love Odin. I mean, heck, my biggest dog's name is Odin. Absolutely enjoyed it. Another Funko Pop booth. So much really cool Norse stuff. This is also the booth that was selling the leather bags. This Kawaii Satori Sadoi had some really cool art. They had some neat Inuyasha art, which I really liked. I didn't see as much as I thought I would at the con. Tons of fan art. Tons and tons of fan art, which absolutely thought was awesome. I got some stuff hung up in my office. And it was so cool how high they were going with their booths, because like you literally just have to sit there and look to go through all of it. This is more of the Lego style art from Dominic Glover. This booth right here, oh, and that lady right there with the big mallet, I went to a Magic the Gathering session with her. Super nice, taught me a little bit how to do Magic the Gathering draft picks. This booth right here, absolutely adored. It's tons of cryptids, tons of stuff like you see in D&D and stuff. The quick draw shirts, really cool shirts. Didn't really have anything in my size, but really neat. It's a weapons booth. Continuing onward, we've got tons and tons of holographic cards. As you can see, you got thick Charizard, what turns into thick Pikachu. Gotta get them thick. More cool comics and stuff. This dude here with the big nose and the face, got him a few different times at the con. He works for Galaxycon. He was the one helping to try to arrange cosplayers to do the meetup for pictures. Another Funko Pop booth. Guy was absolutely nice. Super cool dude. Ran into him a few times. Some more art and artists. Absolutely loved seeing the artists there with their art. And they were all super nice to talk to. More sections. Anime 405 is preparing for another con later this year. They trying to get people to go to it. It's a little bit smaller con, but still just as great. More comic book artists. This one was really cool. So they have a bunch of like books and covered and everything, all D&D style. Some for Bard, some for Cleric, Paladin. Almost picked one up just to have, you know, my little travel book for my D&D characters. Currently playing a Paladin, level 18 Minotaur. This booth had the standees and the flags, epoxy flags, really cool. Loved the flags. I went through all of them. There's so many I would buy. Not enough wall space in the house for them. And then these were the figures popping out of comic panels. I really wanted the Goku one. Him on the flying Nimbus. Thought it was really cool. This booth over here, absolutely nice owners who are running it. Met them on Sunday. Got to talk to them. They gave my friend a discount on an item. Absolutely cool people. More cool keychains. Tons of cool figures. This booth had a bunch of t-shirts. Grand Theft Texas. Tons and tons of coasters at this one. These were credit card sleeves. I was trying to find the Joe Exotic I'll never financially recover from this one, because I wanted that as a credit card sleeve. I thought that'd been hilarious. But they didn't have that one. They had a bunch of other ones. Tons and tons of figures. Like, you literally could spend the entire day looking at figures. More of the random boxes. You buy one, you don't quite know what you get. Tons of comics. If you're looking for anything in particular, they could probably help you find. Light up standees. I think it's cool, but I'd end up never having the light on myself. So I already got some standees, and I usually just let them sit there, lights off. This booth sold like various little pieces of jewelry and stuff. This one, more t-shirts. Again, more standees. Love the Pokemon ones. Saw that they had a bunch of like evolutions. I like the Sylveon, probably the best of the evolutions. More t-shirts. Perler Tricks, met that dude a few times at the con. Absolutely nice dude. Got him to pose for one picture, which you will see. Lucky Grimm, super nice lady. Does Marvel costumes. Taught a bunch of costume Q&As and stuff. Super nice lady. I mean, everyone here was really absolutely nice. More Funko Pops. This one also sold stuffies and backpacks, which I looked at the backpacks. Bunch of really cool ones. I was carrying a giant military backpack, so I did not need it. So many tumblers and various things. They had a bunch of veteran-owned sections. Continuing through here, you will see more. This is the After Dark booth. They're just trying to show some of their After Dark talent. This booth, absolutely adored. Love the art. Love the Gus Fring fried chicken. The Mr. Sparkle, Adventure Time. Like, there's so much here. Like, any fandom just about you could think of, they've done some sort of knockoff of it. Tons of Demon Slayer, tons of like, I mean, there's Courage the Cowardly Dog, Hatsune Miku, Apothecary Diaries. Absolutely love that series. Kind of wanted that piece of art. More Funko Pops, more random grab boxes. Tons of Funko Pops. I have them already all over my office. Just a little bit more of the celebrity section. Since this was day 2, this is the busiest day. And here you got Thomas Lennon again. Walking around, just so many people in the celebrity section. Absolutely nice people. All the celebrities were down to earth. Came over here for pictures of the has-been hotel and hell of a boss shoot. It was really cool. It took a minute to get everyone to get together and frame because everyone was in their little groups, but they do come together. It was so cool seeing them all, and it was hilarious walking around as Jesus seeing them. Here we got a Freddy Fazbear. That costume was so cool. The eyes blue, the mouth opens and shuts. Really scary to see how that could freak somebody out. A little bit more going back to the gaming booth section. Now it's starting to fill up. So this was about 11 o'clock. It was already starting to fill up a whole lot over here. Super cool. Galaxycon provided a bunch of computers for gaming. They did a great job. We are about to go into a Mick Foley interview, so I hope you enjoyed. This was Galaxycon's Con Day.
How you doing, Mr. Shiner? Hey. And then I saw his documentary on a plane, and I was like, I don't care if Bill's going to blow me off or not. I'm going to tell him that was a really good documentary, very unusual, not like a typical A to Z, paint by numbers. It was really good. So I go up to him, and he's on a scooter too. This is just like a month ago. And I said, excuse me, Bill, I'm Mick Foley, and I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed your documentary. And he looked up at me and went, I love Dark Side of the Ring.
Next, going from Mick Foley to William Shatner. So that'll work great.
They had to get out. So they started walking. And they walked south. And they walked north. And slowly over the eons, mankind adjusted to the changing of the earth. They adjusted, just like the earth around them. The trees changed, the ground changed. Mankind's deep black color to avoid vitamin D poisoning and cancer of the skin. That deep black skin, I mean, it's the same human being, but the hominids were changing to adjust to changing nature. So the flat nose, the dark skin changed to a long aquiline nose, so it would warm the air that was getting cold, it would warm it up before it hit the brain. And the dark skin changed to white so that it needed to adjust to the changing rays of the sun. So what we're talking about is black and white is adjustment to nature, as nature all around, as this dynamic earth was being dynamic, and all the animals were changing. They were faster, slower, climbing trees, not climbing trees. Humankind changed color and changed physiology as a result of the changing earth. And I thought, well, where the hell is racism going? We're the same thing. We're just animals that changed, adjusted to the adjusting nature. It was like a human. So I began to write a speech about what is this impulse for change? And then I thought, I wonder if Neil deGrasse Tyson would be interested in the discourse of it. And we got the Daniel Fox, who produced the Voyage to Antarctica, and the three of us are going to, so he's going to produce, Neil and I are going to be in Washington, Washington. What's the big city of Washington? Go with me, I've got so much to talk about. So we're going to be in Seattle in June 16th, 17th, somewhere around there, on stage, ad-libbing 3 venues: geographical, spiritual, and medical.
Do you have a favorite video game or board game?
Oh God, yes. My favorite video game ever, well, I might have to rank a couple of them, but I loved a series called Metal Gear for Konami. The game I probably spent the most time on in my life would be a tie between Gorf for the Commodore 64 and also then when games got way better, GoldenEye.
Oh, I
yeah.
loved GoldenEye back in the day too.
Really amazing. It had the Rumble Pack and everything.
Yeah. Have you had a big inspiration for you in your life, or what was your big inspiration for you in your life?
A couple comedians, probably Steve Martin and Bob Newhart, and then a writer inspired me to write every day, and that guy's name is Peter Hedges.
Oh, that's awesome.
He wrote What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Yeah.
And I just had one last one.
Sure.
Is there something you want to do career-wise that you have not had a chance to do yet?
No.
That is awesome. That truly is awesome. But you have a good one. It's nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
If you could make a lightsaber color, what color would you make a lightsaber?
It would be rainbow. It's great. I don't look at my movies. Like I see them when we're done and I walk away because it seems so sad to me. Like the idea of being an actor is like, there I was in 19. It seems really pathetic. So I really leave it behind and I don't look at clippings or anything like that. Very rarely, except lately when I'm moving, and I found those. So it's really new for me to act, and good for me to remember, like me, seeing a Star Wars movie at a time. I really need to either have some courage or forget and have a fantasy moment. It's really meaningful for me to hear that anything I've done has been that for people. So I really appreciate everybody coming out.
This was a Dr. Robotnik and a bunch of people dressed up as Sonic, Tail, Shadow, Silver, a bunch of various other Sonic characters. It was so cool. They were all super nice. The Dr. Robotnik really was acting the part. It was great. He definitely knew what he was doing. Loved his mustache. They got a bunch of really cool photos. And now we're going into the pictures of the con. So this is one of the pins that you could have got. Here's our little guy for the con. Various wall arts. Love Kamina. Love Girl Log On. How to get a picture of it. Pokemon. How to get a cool picture of it. Love the hanging. Bunch of the fan art. Love the free rin. And whatnot. Absolutely adored every bit of this. Wanted to buy so much. Saw this booth. They sold pictures of dogs as D&D characters. I typically play a paladin and a cleric, so I took a picture of both of those, but they had tons and tons. This is the avocado toast, or guacamole toast card or whatever. It was pretty good. This was one of the gamer supplements. And here's the snake oil supplement. Just something to add to flavor water. These were the vehicles for the supplement, the gamer supplement. I ended up parking next to them on day 2. Couldn't miss their vehicles. I thought it was hilarious when I got out of the car and I realized I was parked next to both of them. Just really neat. They wrapped their cars all the way down with it. Love the Won't You Be My Neighbor, Mr. Rogers, and Ghibli crossovers, Mean Girls, Watch Your Back. Which I saw people dressed up as all of those walking through. Cool Snorlax one. Here is Baby from Supernatural. That car is beautiful. Absolutely loved it. Love Supernatural. Great series. Mystery Machine. Love seeing this in there. Day 2, they had more stuff out. Going into Ghostbusters. Got yourself a nice little Slimer. Got Echo 1. They had the doors all open. Really cool. You saw Rage Zombie right there with me for a second. In Jurassic Park. Love the dinosaurs. They had a puppeteer controlling one throughout the con. It was really cool. Looking through, just tons of crowds. Saw this cool looking Miku. Had to snap a picture as I was walking by real quick. Tons and tons of pictures for Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel. Seeing people all around. Got a bunch of really cool photos of them. This is out on the balcony. Just more and more running around. It was just so cool. Everyone's so nice, wanting pictures. We got some Arcane here. It's really cool. Love the Princess Peach one here. And we are in the Star Wars section. There were tons and tons of Star Wars pictures. Like I said, oh, and here's a Zelda Link. The Zelda costume was cool. I don't know how you could see out the eyes like that, but she walked around the whole time. Got some Marvel. This was really cool, seeing all the people from Toy Story. And then people dressed up, taking pictures. Some more evolutions. Star Wars. Tons and tons of Star Wars. Their booth was hopping all 3 days of the con. It's cool because at certain points you'd see them just march through the con together. There's like all these stormtroopers, and you got a Darth Vader. They got out the R2-D2 and was driving around beeping at people. That was super neat. Absolutely enjoyed it. Just continuing on to female Thor. A bunch of really cool costumes. People really put a lot of time and effort into all their work. Absolutely loved Emperor's New Groove costume right here. Super nice lady. Ran this guy several days at con. Super nice dude. Another Freddy Fazbear. This one, the face didn't light up, but it was just as scary. Again, this guy, one of the guys here at the con, trying to get everybody to come together, take pictures. Another super nice dude. He was helping arrange a lot of the photo shoots. Absolutely loved his costume. Gus Fring. Here were some of the Los Polos people dressed up. Here we are for the Marvel photo shoot. Got a bunch of them. Super cool. Two of my friends who was in my party on day 2. This may have been day 3. No, it's day 3. It's Kazad and Rage Zombie at the end. Really, really cool. Friend Brian there on the left. It's funny, as we were walking through, kept getting stopped. People asking for photos. It was great. The whole con, absolutely nice. Everyone was super cool. Got a bunch of photos of Rage Zombie with various people. Another one of my friends right here wanted pictures with all the One Piece. So I went ahead and took a bunch. Cut them down a little bit, but these were really cool. She's dressed up as Aaron from the Game Grumps. And One Piece was her thing, so I was like, alright, I'll get a bunch of pictures for you. Here she is dressed up on day 3 as another character. Here we are. This was day 2, but it was just fun. My friend Kazad, the Thiable Priest. This is day 2 as well. Running around. Absolutely adored his costume. It was hilarious walking around as Buddy Christ with him. Especially if you can pause it and look at any of his patches. Carrying what he called the Holy Thiable, which was like his perverted 10 Commandments. Another one of my friends dressed up Red Dead Redemption. And here's the Game Grumps, 2 of my friends. Absolutely loved their costume. Game Grumps is one of my favorite fandoms, YouTube fandoms, whatnot. Absolutely adored it. They did a great job. Here we are on day 3. In pictures here, me and my buddy Nick. And me and my buddy Brian. This is when we were at Degenerate Jeopardy, right before it started. And this was right outside the con when we were trying to relax for a second. Here's the After Dark. This was the late night cosplay contest and stuff going through. A bunch of really cool, talented people. These were some photos taken from my buddy Kazad. He did a good job, different viewpoint on the cosplay contest. I got a video of it, which you can watch separately. But so many really, really cool costumes. People really talented, put a lot of work in all their costumes. So hard to choose which I thought was my favorite, which I do post near the end of the video. But there's just so many great ones. And it was cool seeing kids all the way into elder adults just geeking out, enjoying their fandoms. This guy was really nice. He was in the Star Trek costume, took photos with him. He had lightsabers. He has some really cool photos. Here's me and Nehru at the con, enjoying ourselves. She and I had a blast. It was absolutely great. Can't thank Galaxycon enough. They are amazing for the press passes. We've got hundreds of gigs of data, pictures, and videos. Trying to cut it down. This video originally was 10 hours. Cutting it down to less than an hour 15. Me, Goku, Vegeta. Me, when I took my costume off. Just absolutely thank you, Galaxycon, for covering it. It was an amazing experience. Would love to do it again. And my favorite costume, Game Grumps, right here. Two of my friends, gotta give them the award for best costume. Absolutely great. And this was the Backyard Bash. DJ Awesome Prime, Awesomeness Prime, did an excellent job. Had to mute all the audio because all of this would have been copyrighted songs. Absolutely great rave party. This was day 2 rave. So day 1 was just as crazy busy. Day 2, and this was day 2 at like 1:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning or something. Like, it had already been raging for like 3 hours at this point. It was bumping. You could feel the music in your chest. And people throwing balloons. They ended up making like a conga line of like 100, 200 people that went around at one point. Just absolutely cool. It was a total blast. Everyone's pulling out like lightsabers. They got balloons bouncing back and forth. It's a backyard bash, so some people were in swimsuits, some were not. They had blow-up pools on the side, pool bar in the back, and it was bumping, to say the least. He did a great job DJing. Galaxycon did a good job arranging everything here. I have it sped up a little bit just because there is just so much going on in here. Everyone was having a blast. Yeah, you could see the line starting. That thing just, the line got massive. It just kept growing as people were chilling here. Most people stayed here in the corner because it was next to one of the big screens, but this room is huge. This is definitely a giant ballroom. It was an absolute blast. Like I said, the music was great. It was definitely a rave. Galaxycon's going to be coming back. This was their second one, so they're going to be coming back May 22nd or 24th, 2026. If you want to go to the 3rd Galaxycon in OKC, would highly recommend it. Tons and tons of celebrities, tons of cool cosplay and cons. Here's me and Nehru. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day.